Looking at those 4 years, would you say they were successful in terms of border security?
Well, at ICE, I was
So the goal is to fix that. Mr. Arthur,
Yes, Senator.
how did we go from the worst border to the most secure border in like 30 seconds?
It's all
Hey, Patriots. Welcome back to the channel. If you believe in strong borders, law and order, and the America our founders built, you're in the right place. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a chance to fight for our country. Today, I want to talk about something the mainstream media won't touch. The truth about our border crisis, straight from the mouths of the people who've actually been on the front lines. I watched the latest Senate hearing on border security, and let me tell you, folks, if you weren't already fired up, you will be after hearing what these witnesses had to say.
Let me just ask you just a general question. How long were you the chief of staff for ICE in the Biden administration?
a year,
Excuse me.
1 year.
Looking at those 4 years, would you say they were successful in terms of border security?
Well, at ICE, I was responsible for interior enforcement. I wasn't responsible for border security. I would say that the people I know worked as
your
hard as they
work
could
product,
every day.
I mean, the caseload, how would you rate border security during your time?
I would say border security is very important, and I know
I mean, how do you think the Biden administration did in securing our border?
I think that there were a lot of people who came during the Biden administration.
Like 11 million. I would say that's not very secure. Mr. Veliz? Yeah, thank you, sir.
Believe, sir, yeah.
Yeah, how would you rate the border security initiatives of President Biden, successful or not?
Senator, I'm here to testify based on my 30 years of experience as a police officer in building trust and creating safer communities. I'm not an expert in providing you with an assessment of the Biden administration.
Well, I mean, just generally speaking, 11 million encounters is a lot, right?
It seems like a large number, Senator, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the goal is to fix that. Mr. Arthur,
Yes, Senator.
how did we go from the worst border to the most secure border in like 30 seconds?
It's all a matter of will. The laws were already in place at the time that President Biden took office. He could have continued the same policies that President Trump had in place when we had a very high level of border security. In fact, even before Title 42 went into effect, the border was secure based upon my 3 decades of experience. But the reason that the border became insecure is because those policies were reversed and the detention mandates that this Congress has put into place were ignored.
So we went from 160,000 encounters a month for 4 years down to a small amount, right?
Deterrence is the touchstone of enforcement at the border, and if you take away the deterrence, people are going to come in. President Trump put the deterrence back.
The only point I'm trying to make is that the people who are criticizing President Trump are the ones that allowed the problem to exist. You'd be the last group of people I would ask advice from about how to keep this thing going in the right direction. So I want the American people to know that President Trump in 6 months has gotten the border under control after 4 years of absolute chaos. So my belief is that as we move forward, we need to make sure that we do so, not to go backward in securing the border. In terms of enforcement, Mr. Arthur, is it important that people get the message that if you come here illegally, you will be kicked out?
Absolutely. Unless there is enforcement, people will be more likely to cross the border illegally. People will be more likely to remain in the United States illegally. Barbara Jordan said credibility in immigration enforcement is simple. Those who get to come in, come in. Those who should leave, leave. And those who were here unlawfully should be forced to stay or forced to leave.
So clearly some mistakes have been made. I definitely want to fix them. People that shouldn't have been, caught up into the system. We need to get that right. But the consequence of backing off on interior enforcement and deportation, do you think it would send the wrong signal and undercut our efforts?
Absolutely. The immigration laws are impossible to enforce in any stage, consular, border, interior, if they're not enforced.
Let's just assume for a moment, which I do, that most of the people coming here illegally are not coming to commit crimes, but a lot of them do. Senator Cornyn spread a light on this. There are a lot of people dead because of bad immigration policy. Laken Riley, the man who killed Laken Riley, was released because of no detention space, went to Georgia and eventually killed this young lady. So my point is, whatever we do, we don't want to go backward, we want to go forward. And if we change our enforcement policies in the way being proposed, I think we'll lose our gains, and I don't want to do that. Thank you, Senator Cornyn, for having this hearing.
First up, we had a former chief of staff for ICE under Biden. Now, she wasn't in charge of the border itself, but she was responsible for interior enforcement. In other words, making sure that people who are here illegally and breaking our laws are actually deported. When pressed about the administration's performance, she openly admitted there were 11 million encounters during her time. 11 million. Folks, that's not just a number. That's a tidal wave of people entering our country, many with no vetting, no background checks, and no respect for our laws. And what did she say? She called it not very secure. That's putting it mildly. That's a disaster. That's a complete failure of the federal government to do its most basic job, protect the American people. But it got even better. Mr. Arthur, a man with 30 years in law enforcement, got up there and told the raw truth. The problem isn't our laws, it's political will. Folks, let me be crystal clear. The laws to secure our border are already on the books. President Trump proved that. The minute Biden took office, he ripped up Trump's policies, opened the floodgates, and sent a loud and clear message around the world. Come on in. America's border is wide open. Arthur said it plain as day. Deterrence is the key. If you don't have consequences for breaking our immigration laws, people will keep coming. That's human nature. Trump got it. He put deterrence back in place. And within 6 months, not years, he turned the chaos around and started getting control. The numbers don't lie. Border encounters dropped like a rock. But Biden? The numbers went the other way. Up and away. And now the left wants to pretend like it's not their fault? Give me a break. And let's not forget the real human cost of failed enforcement. The tragic story of Laken Riley. This young woman lost her life because the system failed her. The man who killed her was released, not because we didn't know he was a threat, but because there was no detention space. Are you kidding me? We're the United States of America. We can send rockets to Mars, but we can't keep dangerous criminals off our streets. This isn't just about stats, folks. It's about real people. Americans are dying because of these open border policies. Every single preventable tragedy is a stain on the conscience of every politician who puts politics over public safety. Now, here's where I give you my opinion as a right-wing patriot, and I know I speak for millions of you watching right now. We need to build the wall and finish the job. We need to restore Trump's enforcement policies immediately. We need to send a clear message to the world. If you come here illegally, you will be caught, you will be detained, and you will be deported. Period. We need to hold politicians accountable for every American life lost because of open borders. The left wants you to believe that compassion means letting everyone in, no questions asked. But the real compassion is protecting the American people first, enforcing our laws, and making sure our kids can grow up safe in their own country. So what can you do? Share this video. Talk to your friends and family. Call your representatives. Tell them you demand real border security, not more empty promises. Patriots, our country is at a crossroads. We can keep going down the path of chaos, or we can stand up, fight back, and take our country back. If you agree, let me know in the comments. Tell me if you've seen the impact of these policies in your own community. And remember, we the people are the last line of defense for America. God bless you, God bless our border agents, and God bless the United States of America.